On the date April 12, 2018, the transaction is given here, purchased goods from Ram for cash. The entry transaction is made in cash. So purchases account debit because goods comes in business, it is debited, and what goes out from business, that is cash. So cash is credited. The name of Ram here is given in transaction, but we are not using because the transaction is made in cash. If cash would not have been there, then the name of Ram would have been taken in place of cash. So the entries narration would be being goods purchased for cash from Ram. You can write the complete narration also. Amount is 8,000, debit and credit, both sides will be shown. Next, in the same day, April 12, again the next transaction is made. Next transaction is saying paid 250 rupees for their carriage. Carriage is an expense, so definitely there will be expenses and losses. So we are going to write carriage account debit, and if we are paying something, what will go out from business? Cash. So what is to be written in credit side? That is to cash account being carriage paid. Amount of carriage is given 250. So here 250 will be shown. Next transaction on April 15 is given. Sold goods to Hanuman of list price 20,000 at 10% trade discount. Whenever you are finding trade discount, you must keep in your mind that trade discount will not be shown in your journal entry but will be deducted from the main amount. So the list price is given 20,000, and what is the trade discount is given here? It's 10%. Simply 10% would be the 2,000 of 20,000. So balance amount remained is 18,000. Now this entry will be dealt with the amount 18,000. Next it is saying and 5% cash discount. So cash discount is also there. So whatever the amount will be paid or received, it will carry a 5% discount also. Next, he paid 60% amount on the same day and availed cash discount. So he paid only 60% amount, not the whole. So means this 18,000 is divided in two sections, 60% and 40%. So 60% amount is given here paid. So what is unpaid? This amount was not paid and this amount is paid. So first we are going to find out the value of 60% from 18,000. So 18,000, 60%, that is 10,800. And the balance amount, whichever is left, that would be 40% of 18,000. So in that case, as per given information, this 7,200 rupee is not paid in cash by the person who received goods, and this 10,800 is the amount which is paid at 5% discount. So this amount will not be paid fully. 5% discount on 10,800, yes, will be charged. So we are going to find out the 5% discount on the amount 10,800. So we have 10,800 into 5%, that is 540. So this 540 is our discount amount, and after deducting this discount from 10,800, we will have to finally pay or receive 10,260. So this is all about only single entry that is given on date 15. So first of all, let's see the entry, journal entry. The journal entry for April 15, that would be, it is sold goods means goods has been sold to Hanuman. Some amount is left credit. It means the name of Hanuman will be used. So Hanuman debit. How much amount left credit? 40% because 60% was paid and with discount. So 40%, 7,200. That amount was left unpaid. So that would be debited. And next entry would be continued with cash account. Some amount is received in cash, that was 60%, and discount was also given. So discount allowed account debit. So discount allowed account debit. And what is to be credited? It was a sales. Sales means goods goes out. So debit or credit? Credit. Credit what goes up to sales account. So here in our calculation we have already written that the amount 60% which was paid in cash was 10,800 and the 5% discounted on that was 540. So after deducting this 540 from 10,800, what was the left amount? 10,260. So this is all about the debit side amounts. And in credit side, as I told you, that the 10% 2,000 rupees, it was given in trade discount. That would be deducted and the balance amount 18,000 will be credited. So it is all about this one entry, very special entry, different entry. If you are getting clearly what is the calculation, then only you would be able to understand it, that the amount is taken from which part and what is the calculation method. Total amount was given 20,000. We take only 18 because 10,000 was sent to trade discount. So 18,000 was the whole amount. 40% it was not paid and 60% it was paid. So 60% is divided in two sections because the paid amount includes a 5% discount also. So the journal entries, transaction, narration would also be written here. So doing goods. So no need to write a complete narration. It will save our time also. There the complete narration is not required, but you must write something in the narration. If your narration is blank, minus half will be there. So don't lose your marks, but don't waste your time also. Next narration is April 16. So on April 16, narration is given, Sohan sold goods to us. Here Sohan is selling goods to us. We are not selling. What we are doing? We are purchasing goods. So in that case, what we are doing? Purchasing goods. So the entry would be purchased, your purchases account debit to whether the cash or the name of the person. So is it a cash transaction? No. It is saying Sohan sold goods to us. Means we purchase goods from Sohan. Cash is not given. So the name of person Sohan will be written here. With the name of any personal account, we are not going to mention account. In real and nominal accounts, we mention accounts, but with the name like Hanuman, like Sohan, we are not writing account. So account, that word will not be added to any personal account. So here purchases account added to Sohan, being goods purchased. So this purchase, which is including a name, is a credit purchase. If it would have been a cash purchase, the name will not have been used. Only the cash would have been replaced with the name Sohan. So here the amount in 16 date entry is 8,000. Total of 8,000 debited and credited both. Next, April 18, Mr. Manohar purchased goods from us. So Mr. Manohar purchased goods from us. It means that what we did, we sold the goods. So we must be clear with the concept given in journal entry, because the transaction may lead you to the another point. It can mislead also you. So here As per the given entry, Mr. Manohar purchased goods from us. We sold goods to Mr. Manohar. So Mr. Manohar is the receiver. So he will be debited. Mr. Manohar debit to sales account. The goods sold. The amount for 18th date entry is 11,650. 11,650. Now next entry on 21st date, received commission through check. If we are receiving commission or any other income, that is definitely an income. So in that case, the rule comes of nominal account. In nominal account, we have the rule: debit all kind of expenses and losses, credit all kind of incomes and gains. So here, this commission is an income or an expense. Definitely we are receiving, it means it is an income. So income would be debited or credited. According to our rule, incomes are to be credited. So what we are going to receive? We are going to receive cash. Cash in terms of commission. So what comes in? Cash comes in, but by check. So check will be represented with bank here. So entry date is 21. We are writing bank account debit. Whenever any transaction is made by check, it will be written with the help of bank. Check word will not be used. So bank account debit to commission account being commission received. So amount received by check in commission is rupees 2,000. If the transaction would have been commission paid, so the transaction would have been just reverse commission account debit to bank account, because in that case commission would be an expense and here it is an income. So incomes are credited, that's why commission is credited. Next is on date 25, paid electricity charges. Any paid means expenses. Expenses would be debited. So electricity charges debit. And if we are paying something, definitely what goes out from business, that is cash. So the electricity charges paid. Amount for electricity charges paid is 1,500. So here 1,500 amount is debited and credited. Next on date 27, it is salary due to accountant. Salary paid and salary due. These two terms vary differently. So salary paid, if it would be there, then the entry is salary account debit to cash account, because cash is going. Salary due means salary is being an expense, but we are not paying. It will be paid in future. So salary is an expense, definitely it will be debited. So we are doing salary account debit. Here we are not writing to cash account because salary is not paid. It is due means it will be paid in future. So it's being a liability and named salary outstanding. Outstanding are those expenses which are finalized but it's still not paid. Means these are the liabilities for future. So salary is outstanding. Being salary due. The amount for salary due on 27th date is 8,500. So here 8,500 at debit side and at credit side also. Next entry on date 30, provided 12% interest on capital. So interest on capital, that may be an income or an expense also. We'll have to find out whether the interest is charged on an assets or an liability. So here capital, that name is given, capital is a liability and the interest on liability will increase the liability. So we'll have to pay more in future. So it is an expense. So what we are going to do, expense would be debited or credited? Definitely debited as per nominal account. So interest on capital account debit. This interest will increase a liability and liabilities are the future expenses, future losses. So that would be debited here and this interest is created on what? Capital. So to capital account. So any interest on loan, capital would be debited. Any interest on any assets, that would be debited, credited. That would be an income. So here narration would be being interest on capital charged. Interest on capital charged amounted rupees 12% of capital. And what was the capital invested by Sheel Kumar? Sheel Kumar invested 2 lakh rupees in the starting first narration. Here 12% is given. 12% and 12% per annum. These two terms are very different. If it is written 12% per annum, means the 12% will be the whole interest to be paid in a year. If 12% only is given, means directly calculate the 12% of the same amount for the year. If per annum word is given there, means the capital investment was made on which date? 1st April. We are paying this interest on which date? 30th April. Means how much time is left? That is 1 month only. Means the capital was invested for 1 month. So it would have been given for 1 month if per annum word would have written. But here per annum is not given. So we are going to write directly the 12% of 2 lakh. So what is the 12% of 2 lakh? 24,000. So 24,000 is written here. Next, last entry of the question is on April 30, received from Mr. Manohar in full settlement. Full settlement, final payment may include any discount also. So we have to find out whether the discounted amount is there or not. If we are receiving money, what comes in? Cash. So cash would be debited. So we are doing cash account debit. Who pays this amount? Manohar. Manohar is the person who is giving money. Credit the giver. So Manohar will be credited here. We'll have to find out whether the discount will be here or not. First of all, Manohar. Any entry we did with the name of Manohar? Yes. On date 18. On 18th, what we did with Manohar? Sales. We sold goods for 11,650 rupees. And how much amount we are paying full and final? We are paying 11,500. So it means 11,650 was to be paid and we are paying only 11,500. So what amount is left? 150. So where is that 150 gone? That is discount. So it will be hidden in case. So what we are receiving is the less amount which we would have received. So here discount allowed is also increased. Amount we received is 11,500. Amount of discount is 150. Why? Because to Mr. Manohar we are going to write the total amount 11,650. That was the amount to be paid, but how much we paid? 11,500. So balance amount remained is considered here a discount. The narration would be the final payment made. So this is all about the complete question. question of 27 number. Finally, after completing the journal entry, we require to find out the total of the debit and credit side. It would be similar every time because in each and every entry, the debit and credit amount is similar. So the total of debit and credit would be similar because I have removed many entries. So you may find out the total of the same amount. Here at last you are going to write grand total, and finally the amount would be written here. So thank you. Thanks a lot.